Turn up the bass.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I don't want to keep you long today. I just want to make a few points and get out of here. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Okay, how we want to kick this off? All right. Whew. When you don't come online a lot, you have to get your thoughts together. So, pardon me as I try to get this together right here. I want to ask a question. Do I have the right to think for myself? I just want to know. Do we have the right to be a critical thinker? Now, of course, many of you might say yes. Which would be an outright lie. Because as soon as somebody says something you don't like, your chest puff all out. You can hear the anger in your voice. That ain't right. I don't like that. That's wrong. But at the same time, you will say, we have the right to be a critical thinker. We have the right to form our own opinion. We have a right to be who we are. You are a liar. I know you're a liar because since 2007, since I've been on YouTube, that's all you have to do is lying. You don't want nobody to be a critical thinker. You don't want nobody to express themselves. You want somebody to follow and believe what you believe and follow and do what you say. So you are a liar and you are a hypocrite. And you are a slave and you want somebody else to be a slave to your plantation. You don't like critical thinkers. You don't want nobody to form their own thoughts. You just want to be a slave and a follower. You don't want nobody to have the right to do nothing except follow your happy ass. You're liars. I know you're a liar because I've been dealing with you since 2007. Flagging people's channels, slandering people's names because they don't believe what you believe. Their opinion is not your opinion because you have the truth. But when we show you that what you have is not the truth, then you start acting and crying and whining like a baby. You don't want me to have my own opinion. I am on here and I am hated and they slander my name because I won't get on their slave plantation, because I won't follow. Follow you where? You ain't going no damn where. You have no success. You have no progress. Follow you to do what? Believe in you this for what? What is the benefit? The benefit of believing and following a slave master, whether that slave master is living or dead. That's the pathetic thing about it. You so much want to be a slave, your slave master don't even have to be alive. That's tacky. I don't have the right to think and do for myself. When I was a child, and I want to thank my mother, I want to thank my relatives around us children, we were raised in the Baptist church. But they did not force. They did not even teach. We just went to church. They talked about Jesus and they prayed to Jesus, but they never sat down with us and said, you need to believe in Jesus and blah, blah, blah. They never forced that down our throats. So it gave us children an opportunity to think for ourselves. However, as a child, you really don't know how to think for yourself. This is why it is important for proper guidance from your parents. This is why it is important for proper guidance from within the society and the environment that we are coming up in. But the society is corrupt and the parents are ignorant. So the children are free falling. We are free falling children. And we have been free falling children ever since civilization. Because you cannot have civilization without robotic people. I say that again. You cannot have civilization as we know it without people who are ignorant, who are domesticated. Because there's always going to be a group that dominate and rise, and I want to do things my way. So you will have kings and rulers because they believe in Jesus, because they believe in Allah, because they believe in a rock or whatever it is. Then all the people in this civilization, we're going to believe in rocks. We're going to believe in Allah. Even though it's not expressed by the people. And if you don't like it, we will kill you. If you don't like it, we will ostracize you. If you don't like it, then tough cookies. And that's what you see that happens to people who think outside of the, as they say, the matrix. And so a child that is born in that belief system, you automatically believe. You don't have an opportunity to think for yourself and say, I don't know. That don't sound right to me. Well, this is the way that we've always done it. We've always done it because that king, that queen, or whoever dominate the civilization, they decided thousands of years ago, this is what we're going to believe. Even though your brain, as you grow older, your brain, your common sense begins to question these things, but you accept these things on face value. So you have to have a slave mind in order to accept these things. And that's why they are angry at me, because I refuse to be a slave. My ancestors didn't have a choice. All these things was forced on them for 400 years. They didn't have an opportunity to think and do for themselves. So all this has been forced on them. And if we are free people, then we should think and act like free people, but we continue to act like slaves, a non-thinking people, looking for a slave master. somebody to follow, living or dead. I don't have the right to think for myself. Want me to be a slave like you? I don't want to be a slave. That's why you don't understand me. Because you're a slave. You stuck in a box. I'm outside the box. You don't understand. What are you doing? The slave that had the heart to want to run away, what you gonna run away for? What's out there? They don't understand. I don't care. I got to get the hell out of here. Because this is not life. I'd rather take my chances out there. Whatever that is, it can't be no worse than on the slave plantation. Getting my ass whooped, being humiliated. Well, we get 3 meals a day, pig foots and collard greens and chitlins and stuff, and video games, and we get to go see LeBron James and his son play on the Lakers. That's what we get to do on the plantation. I don't understand you. You want me to go backwards with you. Here we are in 2026, and the only thing coming out of these suckers' mouths, what did Malcolm X do? And Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and whatever. All these people are dead and gone. Noble Drew Ali is dead. Here they are trying to follow dead folks. Keep talking about what dead folks said. Their wisdom stopped and ended when they died. If you die during the time of the Model T, that's all you know. You don't know about Tesla. You stop at the Model T. And you have people, their minds is with the Model T, and they want you to feed on the Model T. That's all. That don't go no more. The Model T is the foundation for the Tesla, and there's similarity, but the Tesla is advanced. It's gone beyond the Model T. The only reason why you want a Model T as a showroom piece, a relic of the past. That was then, this is now. But these suckers, these children, because you have to be a child to continue to think the way that you do. So the Bible said, when I was a child, I spoke like a child. I didn't know how to think. So as a child, you got me in the church. So as a child, you got me in the Nation of Islam. So as a child, you got me because I don't know no better because I'm a child. And unfortunately for me and many others, the society and our parents, sometimes out of ignorance, we have been guided down the wrong road. Going backwards instead of trying to go forward. Being detrimental instead of beneficial. So I have folks following me from channel to channel since 2007. They angry and mad and upset because I won't be their damn slave. You need to think like this. You need to think like that. And the sad thing about it, I have already gave it the benefit of a doubt. It don't work. And only a fool would keep trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Only a fool. And we are foolish. Only And you will see children do that. They'll take the peg and steady trying. That's what children do. An adult, supposed to be adult, knows that that square peg won't go in that round hole. Except y'all. Steady talking about all this stuff from 1950, 5000 BC, 2000, and that's not good enough for you. Then you start making up stuff. Oh, the earth is square, and the aliens came and got me from planet Nubia X25. You start making, start making stuff up. And you want me to believe all that nonsense. And then you do your research and you get your information to support your damn lie. That's over with. So they have their temper tantrum with me. The name calling, the flagging the channel, telling lies to YouTube, telling lies to Facebook, telling lies to Instagram. Just lie on Angel Snubbing Up 7. Because you mad because Angel Snubbing Up 7 not going to be your slave. Your knowledge don't scare me. I share the knowledge from the Nation of Islam. I share the knowledge from Young Pharaoh. I share the knowledge from Sonetta TV. I share the knowledge from Moore's World TV. I don't care. It don't bother me. I'm not intimidated by your knowledge. But they are intimidated because Angel Snubbing Up 7 is free. I'm not going to be your slave. You want to be a slave, that's your business. That's why you're in the condition that you're in now, and you're going to stay right where you are because you are a slave. You're supposed to be a free people, but you don't act, you don't think, you act, you don't behave like a free person. Stuck in 1920, 1930, 1950, 1977. If I came on this program right now, dressed the way I used to dress when I was a child in 1970, you would be looking at me like, what you dressed up like that for? You going to a costume party? Because this is 2026. This is not 1977. But all this black conscious, black Pan-African, it's stuck somewhere in the past somewhere. And there you are, a slave. Because muscle make you feel good. We love to feel good. That's why we have all these children that we can't take care of. Because I'm doing my thing so we can feel good. So I can feel like a man. I can feel like a woman. Then you're going to get upset because Donald Trump cut off the food stamp. The government is not required to feed your children. You decided to do that. If the government gives you some food stamps to help you with your children, that's a blessing. The government is not required to feed you and your children. But you want to feel like a man, feel like a woman. If you're a man and a woman, feed yourself and your children, and you don't need no help from the government. At one time, my grandfather had 9 children. They didn't get no help from no government. And many older people can tell you that. My grandmother and grandfather worked from sun up to sundown for $3 a damn day. And then they had to worry maybe the Peckerwood might come by and lynch somebody in the Jim Crow South, Mississippi. And here you are begging and crying, help me feed my children. That's your responsibility, not the government. and all your wisdom, all your knowledge. Why don't Jesus help you? Why don't Malcolm X help you? Why don't Huey Newton help you? Why don't Noah Joe Ali help you? The invisible gods and all this stuff that you believe. Why are you crying to the government? Cry to your God. Why your God not helping you? And you want me to follow you? Here I am. Your God ain't doing a damn thing for you. What make you think I'm supposed to bow down and be a slave and your God ain't did a damn thing for you? Got me messed up. Don't make any sense. But you have a child mind. And children don't understand the reason why adults have to do or think the way they do, because they are a child. A child is dependent upon the parents. And here you are, you depending on somebody that's dead. You dependent upon something from 1920. That time is dead. 1930 is gone. You have not advanced. You have not progressed. You stuck in the past. I refuse to be a slave. I don't care how angry and upset that you get. You don't have no power. Now, if you ask power, if you ask some kind of benefit, I could understand. Well, bro, you know, we got all these apartment buildings. You know, we building all these skyscrapers. We got all these, we got this military. We selling cheap, you know, giving our people cheap food. Here you are, and you're giving these people of knowledge thousands and millions of dollars. You don't have a pot to piss in, except you feel good. No different than giving a prostitute. I don't know. You just feel good. You get nothing else out the deal except you feel good. But you might get an STD. You feel good, but you get the STD later. And then you give it to your wife. Because she don't know you messing with prostitutes. Because you Mr. Man and you love your wife and your children so much, but your wife not giving you the love that you need, so you got to go to another woman and whatever, and you come back and give her STD. Mr. Man, who the boy, the son is looking up to. So when I get grown, I'm going to be a hoe like my daddy. So we make songs about it. Papa was a rolling stone. That ain't nothing to laugh about. That ain't nothing funny. Mr. Daddy, Mr. Father, you a hoe. Papa was a rolling hoe. He wasn't a rolling stone, he was a rolling hoe. He got families all over the city. And mama's supposed to stay home, take care of all them 10 children that he done gave her, and beg the government for a handout, because this hoe running from house to house. And the hoe is poor as hell. He don't have nothing. But the woman has been conditioned to accept that behavior from men. She don't have a choice. Living in a society where the men do not protect women. The men exploit women and children. So you got a pedophile for president. And men don't say nothing, because many of these men are pedophiles. Men get caught beating up on women. You don't hear no outrage from men, because they'll beat a woman too. They beat children too. That's why there's no outrage. And women have been condition in the society. That's what God wants from us. What kind of life are you living? You don't deserve to be happy. So she's a slave. She's a slave because he's a slave. And all these men giving booty to other men, scared of other men. And when they follow the God is a male God. How do you know it's a male God? Because it's got a penis. Can't be male, can't say he, can't say him. It's got to have to have a penis. It's got a gender. They're not saying it. The Nation of Islam, Master Farad Muhammad, got a penis. He's a man. And when you go to their houses, nothing but pictures of men everywhere that they adore and love. Penis worship. I'm not going to do that. Oh, no. Penis worship. Oh, no. Not going to do it. They love their penis. It's all about penis supremacy. And y'all following these things, these freaks. I'm not going to do it. So you can get angry at me. You can foam at the mouth all you want. Have a temper tantrum, whatever you want. I'd rather die than continue to be a heterosexual homosexual. Because that's what these guys are. These what these men are. They are hetero homosexuals. Bisexuals, whatever you want to call it. They can't see it because they are caught up in somebody's slave mindset. I'm a man. What kind of man are you? The slave on the plantation was a man. But you see what he was doing? He was bending over to another man. Yeah, he's a man too. Mandingo. You have, Master Farad Muhammad, Noba Ju Ali. Here you are a man. And you hollering, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Here you are a man. And you having orgasms when you said the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Noba Ju Ali. Or Eric Muhammad, Tahaka Bey, Tariq Nasheed, all these men, they having orgasms over other men. Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, these are men who are having orgasms over other men. The God is a man. Everything about them is penis fine. Malcolm X, Marcus, was all men. Noba Ju Ali, Frederick Douglass. Rarely do they talk about women. Rarely. It's always men holding somebody's nuts. And you want me to be part of that. When I was a child, you got me because I didn't know no better. But as I began to think for myself, as I began to mature, and I began to look at it, I'm like, it show a lot of men stuff going on. I start feeling funny about this. God is a man. Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan. I'm always talking about men. And they don't even feel gay. They don't feel gay or nothing. If you call them gay, they'll get all upset. You the one foaming at the mouth Talk about men all the time. You are, not me, you are. How you gonna get upset? You the one doing that. Your God is a man. Everything about you, man, penis, man. You don't get angry at me. No, you need to get angry at yourself. What did the great Malcolm X say during his time? You've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. Not only by the Peckerwood, but by your own folks, because they don't know no better. They don't know no better. I'm not angry with you. You don't know no better. You thinking you Spike Lee, you doing the right thing. You don't know no better. Because these teachings and this mindset don't teach us how to think for ourselves. They teach us we know it all. I already know. I don't have to think for myself. The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is right and exact. I don't need, Jesus is the answer. I don't need nothing else. That's why y'all stupid. That's why you're always under somebody else's rule. That's why you don't control nothing. You don't rule nothing. Because slaves don't rule nothing. Slaves are servants. Slaves are followers. Slaves depend on their massa. And that's what you do. Living or dead. That's the sad thing about it. Your massa don't even have to be alive. I'm following Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad have not been here since 1975. Noah Drew Ali ain't been here since the 1930s. How the hell y'all following Frederick Douglass? You cannot follow Frederick Douglass. He ain't been here, I don't know when. And the thing about it, these people, you give them the credit for what they done, but they did not succeed. They failed. They were not winners. They failed. They did not accomplish their mission. There is no mother plane coming out the sky. Ain't nobody going back to no Africa and all this stuff that they promoted, all this stuff that they sold. This, you have to understand that the people that they were talking to in the 1930s, matter of fact, in the 1930s, some slaves that was actual slaves on the plantation were still alive in the 1930s. You think illiteracy is bad? It was even worse back then. Just came off the slave plantation. Remember, freedom, they just gave you your freedom, what, 1865 to 1860, 1870. 1930, that's just a few years, or 40 years or whatever. Just came off the slave plantation, not even 100 years. The reason why the Nation of Islam, the reason why all these teachings, the reason why they were able to get a hold of the people was because of the oppression. I mean, beautiful stuff. The black man is God. Here you are, a slave on the plantation, and somebody telling you, black man is God. Wow. Yeah, you're going to go for it. Just like the Peckerwood, they put those masks over there and told the racists, these niggers is taking your job, these niggers is making it hard for you. They believe that. The poor trash, the poor uneducated folks. They exploit your ignorance, your inability. They feed on your emotion, not your intellect. Because your intellect would tell you, they tell us some truth, but I don't like where this is going. Noah Drew Ali, the Nation of Islam, all this stuff, even the Black Panthers, it was fueled because of oppression. That's why it was fueled. Because of oppression. And these things made us feel good. Black power, we still like it today. Black power, all these slogans. Black power, hotel, we love these slogans, and you still on a slave plantation nothing has changed. Why should I want to be part of that? Why should I keep saying black power and there's no evidence I am gaining any power? You should learn from the mistakes of the past so that you can progress and pass the baton to the next generation should you fail, and you are failing, and really you don't even, it's so tacky, you don't even have a baton to pass to the next generation. You got them caught up. Black Power Hotel, wearing all these crazy African clothes or whatever you have African, whatever, going nowhere. You are a Model T on a modern day highway. People respect you because you're the original man. You're the original man. But you in the damn way. Get that old crap off the highway. We got Teslas. We got these Ram trucks. We got all this stuff on the highway. Get that off the highway. You in everybody's way. And you want me to be part of that. Folks coming to making these corny comments on my pages, trying to make mockery of the Mississippi campaign and all, because you're a child and you don't have a pot to piss in. If you're going to make mockery of the Mississippi campaign that you did not try, but all these other things have been tried and they have failed. One brother came on my program talking about it might take. Brother came on my program and told us it might take another 100 years. You'll be dead. How will you know? This, what we call the Mississippi campaign, you will begin to see the fruits before you die. You will begin to see the fruits as soon as you begin to enact it. I guarantee you, you're not going to wait 100 years. Because this is up to date. And really, this Mississippi campaign that we propose, it is learning the lesson from all the failure, learning all the lesson from the mistakes that all our people in the past, where they messed up at, so that you can be successful. But you're a child, you don't understand. You still living because that stuff make you feel good. But it don't produce nothing. What is that called? When something is called masturbation. Because you're getting the pleasure, but it cannot produce life. That's masturbation, right? I refuse to be part of you. When I was locked up, they called me crazy. You want to know something? I didn't even argue with them. I said, maybe they right. That's what I said. I said, maybe they right. They gave me books and I watched films. Their films, not my films. They said I was crazy and they want to show me that I'm mentally insane. So they give me their books. They give me their videos, their stuff to study. This is what you are. And the sad thing about it, they didn't even give me a specific diagnosis. They just said that you are mentally ill. What's my mental illness? They never did say. We just know that you're insane. What kind of stuff is that? That's like going to the doctor and a doctor telling you that you sick. Well, what do I have, doc? Cancer? High blood pressure? I don't know. I just know that you sick. That's stupid as hell. But see, the Peckerwood can get away with that. Because there's no way you're going to go to a doctor and the doctor tell you, Mr., Mrs., you are sick. Because the first thing you're going to say is, what is it that I have? I don't know. I just know that you're sick. What? Then they want to give you medicine. They want to give you medicine for the sickness that they don't know which one that you have. So you taking Pepto-Bismol, they give you something for your stomach, and really, all thing you have is a headache. So nothing's never going to happen for your headache because they gave you something. The whole thing don't even make any sense. That's the type of world we live in. How you going to tell somebody that they sick like people tell me when they get mad, these children? And you snub nub 7, you crazy. Hell, even the professional folks cannot diagnose me. So I believe you. So what am I get therapy? Therapy from who? And the thing about it is, if you pay for it, I will go. If Angel Snub Nub 7 is crazy and insane, you pay for the therapy, I will go. No, that's nothing but childish name calling. You're not serious. I'm serious. Because if I'm crazy, I want to get help. Because most times, if you're insane, a lot of times, if you have cancer, you don't know. So I want to get checked out. They're not going to pay for it. If I call somebody insane or crazy, I will pay for your therapy. Try me. I will pay for it. Because I want to see you well. I'm not going to call you a childish name. I want to see you well. Something is wrong with you. Because I care about black people. Here you are. I love black people. I care about black people. You calling the black people crazy, but you won't pay for therapy. You don't know why they crazy. But nothing wrong with you, and you following dead people. You praying to invisible gods, but ain't nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you. You stuck in 1930. Putting a red cap with a ponytail on it. Talking about you are more. But ain't nothing wrong with you. That's all right. So I read their books. I read or watched their videos. So I have their knowledge. Like I know what you guys talking about. Because I don't know it. You know, I'm not a scholar. But I know your teachings. I know how you think. And then I show them, well, I don't see myself in this video. I don't see myself in this diagnosis. Show me how that is me. That's your material. Same thing with these folks, this black conscious, Pan-African, blackity black stuff. You show them the error. They just want you to believe like they do. Too arrogant to say, you got a point. You don't think for yourself. You just a follower. You just a servant. You just a copy machine. You just a Xerox machine. You don't know nothing about being free in the mind. What's the sense of being physically free and your mind is still in chains? The only difference now is that your slave master is black. You got you a black slave master now. I'm pro-black. And still using the racist terminology. Black is a racist concept. African is a racist concept. Those people did not call themselves Africans. They did not call themselves black. They didn't do that. All this racist concept. And you use it. Matter of fact, you even use the peckerwood as an example for success. Well, look at the white man. Look what he do. Look at the white man. Look what he said. Yeah, look at him. Look how they got it. None of this stuff is honest. It's through deception, lies, trickery, slavery, murder. Everything they have. Exploitation. And you want to use them as an example for success with your blackity black, pro-black, black, and the black self. Because in reality, you just as sick as they are. I'm not going to join your plantation. You can hoop and you can holler all that you want. It's not going to happen. I'd rather be by myself and alone. That's never been a problem for me. When I was growing up, I did not succumb to peer pressure. I knew when I was a little boy, enjoy your childhood because ain't nothing fun about being an adult. I figured that out when I was a child. My peers, they want to grow up. They want to start having sex and drinking and smoking, acting stupid. Then they turn around and all their youth is gone. They want to have fun. They want to party. All your childhood is gone because you wanted to grow up. You only going to be a child one time. That's it. And you blow it, that's gone. With all due respect to our brother Michael Jackson, no matter how hard he tried, once you give away your childhood, you only have one. Once you give that away, that's it. You can go to Disneyland all you want to. You can hang out with other little children and get yourself in trouble all you want to. Once your virginity is gone, once your childhood is gone, that's the end. I understood that as a child myself. I enjoyed my childhood as long as possible. I did not see nothing exciting about being an adult. And now that I'm an adult, I have to begin to think like an adult, act like an adult. I have to mature. Many of you still function on the level of a child. So you need a mama. You need a mama and a papa. And that's what all these teachings do for you. They're your mama. They're your papa. You can't function unless somebody got their titty in your mouth. Put some Similac down your throat. That's why you got to always study the teachings to get you some more milk out the bottle. And the first thing they tell you, study, get the research, know the teachings. Because you're a baby. You got to keep trying to feed. And you're not getting any milk because you're drinking from a damn coffin. And the only thing in a coffin is maggots and spider web. You can't do nothing with me. I'm a critical thinker, always have been. I've never been loyal to no teachings or to no belief. because that could be wrong or it could be in error. And you cannot grow thinking that you know it all. That's why you're stuck in the mud hole where you at. I'm not going to do it. So I want to go through some random topics. I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. Have a talk to these children, because that's what they are. Little babies. Still need mama titty. Sucking on pacifiers. They need God. A bunch of cripples. They need something to walk, to help them talk. They still crawling on their all fours. And some of them will even tell you, I'm a baby. When it comes to Jesus, to the knowledge of Jesus, they still babies. They call themselves the children of God. They children. So how the hell you gonna have the nerve to try to question me when you are a child? You admit that you are a child. You admit that you are a follower, that you don't think for yourself. You depend on this other dead person to help you. And it didn't help them because all that stuff was a failure. 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 You love being losers. You want somebody to come on, and see, that's why you need somebody to come on the video and babyfy you. Oh, the black man is God. Y'all kings and queens. Everything you do is right. You need somebody to tell you lies. You know it's not true. But you need to hear that. You want to hear that because you're a child. A lot of parents would tell their child that's struggling in school, oh, you smart, baby. They need to try to encourage that child to help them learn their lessons so they can graduate and so they can go on to do better. So you need to encourage them. Then sometimes you're just going to have to be honest. Look, we need to get you a tutor. It's not making it. When it comes to this, you are dumb. Sometimes you're going to have to break out trying to be hurt people's feelings. No, I'm not calling you dumb, but when it comes to this, you're dumb. You need a tutor. You need some help. You need to be real. We do people a disservice when we keep lying to them. The black man is God. Ain't nothing God about nobody here. As long as you in America, you ain't no damn God. Ain't nobody doing nothing godly in America. America's a damn cesspool. A country that murder little girls. A cesspool. What it says in the Bible, like a modern day Babylon. A place with all kinds of filth. Filthy birds. Evil. You don't know if you're a man or a woman. Somebody getting shot and murdered. Who knows how many serial killers it's been today? It's normal. It's normal in America. How many women raped? How many women unalived by their long-term boyfriends and husbands? How many children are missing? How the hell you gonna be a God in this? It's a lie. And you suckers, y'all don't even get along with each other. I saw the new back and forth between Eric Muhammad and Tahaka Bay. That's all these Negroes do. arguing, debate over religions. Ain't nobody doing. Eric Muhammad don't have a pot to piss in. The Huckabee don't have a pot to piss in. Arguing and debating over some damn stuff from 1930. You want me to join? That's madness. That's insanity. I'm not going to be involved in that foolishness. But you got this orange monster dropping bombs on little girls, taking food stamps away from babies. And this is the only conversation that you have. This man run around murdering people every day in this cesspool. You the God, why don't you stop him? You can't stop Donald Trump because you ain't no damn God. You're a liar. It's all lies. I'm a critical thinker. What do my critical thinking, what type of conclusions do I come up with? Well, let's talk about some of these things. Let's talk about integration. Segregation was better than integration. I don't like Dr. King. Dr. King, he's an integrationist. We integration. Woo! We live with these people. We've been integrated with these folks for 400 years. Segregation is nothing but a form of integration. You still here with them. You still under their law, under their jurisdiction, under their power. What difference do it make? And whenever they get tired of your ass, which they have proven, they come and destroy everything that you build because you are integrated with them. They don't even have to get on a plane. They get on a horse and destroy your town. They get on a horse and destroy your city because you are integrated with them. It don't make no difference if you are separated from them in a little corner. They say, oh, that's a good pile of Negroes. We can destroy it real easy. And you know these people are jealous of your success and they tear it down. It reminds me of when I was a child and I saw these ants build up this little mountain. Then I'll come and knock it all down and leave. Come back a little while later, the ants done built. I knock it down again. Pretty soon the ants stop. What's the sense of keep doing it? That's what happened to black people. That's what happened to soul brothers and sisters in this country. It's not the fact that we lazy. It's not a fact that we don't try. Get tired of building something up, Hikamisa, because we are integrated in this country, period. To say segregation just make you feel good. Hell, I was segregated. I did not see a white person until I was about, 8 years old or whatever. I didn't know what a white man looked like. And I was living in the South, never seen them. Because we were segregated. So what? But they run everything. They run the plantation my grandparents was on. They ran the school. They ruled everything. Because you are integrated. You still with them. So what? Segregation ain't no damn better than integration, except segregation, now you are more of a target. Because you build up your little corner, and here they come and knock your town down. They destroy you. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, the examples go on and on and on. And segregation just made you a target because you still living with these people. You are still integrated with them. Now, had you done the same thing somewhere in Africa, somewhere where it made it difficult for them to touch you, that's different. Here these suckers get on a mule, a horse, and come burn your stuff down. They don't even have to go far because you are integrated. We were integrated with them since slavery. As soon as an immigrant, somebody from another country come to America, they integrate into American society. I don't care. You got Chinatown, you got Irish Town, you got Somali Town. It don't mean nothing. You integrated. You are in his system. You are under the jurisdiction, the rules and the laws of America. And when these suckers ready to come down on you with their military, here they come. Because you are integrated here. They'll test you with their laws. And if that's not enough, then they come for then they will bring their airplanes, their drones, and all this other stuff that they love to kill with. And they love to murder. They love to kill. It's a new movie coming out, I think today or tomorrow. It's called The Odyssey. It's their European history. Nothing but violence, burning, killing, raping, pillaging. That's all. They love that. That's what they love. They like doing that type of stuff. Put it on the screen. I want to see that person get their throat cut in IMAX. Let's make a slave movie in IMAX. I want to see how do it feel being lynched in IMAX. They love you living in a country that's nasty, is filthy, is profane, and really you become just like them. They talk all this brother stuff, all this sister stuff. Soon as they get angry, get mad, they cuss you out. They use the same words, the same mindset as the Peckerwood, because you are integrated with your pro-black, pan-African dumbass. You just like them. You don't fool me. You might fool other slaves, but you don't fool me. So the slave get angry at me because I'm supposed to worship Malcolm X. Here's Malcolm. I don't worship Malcolm X. I respect Malcolm. Malcolm X remind me a lot of myself. I don't worship Malcolm X. I don't like what they done to Malcolm X. And I understand that what Malcolm had to offer was his understanding that stopped in 1965. That was his understanding at that time. We don't know what Malcolm would be doing or saying in 2026. We don't know. He didn't get the opportunity. I think Malcolm would probably be much like myself, because Malcolm, I could see he was a thinker. And I could see that Malcolm was maturing. He wasn't going to stay on that playing field. He wasn't going to do it. I don't see Malcolm staying in that mindset, because he could understand, he could see it ain't working. But folks get angry at me because I won't worship Malcolm X. I'm not going to worship Malcolm X. I give Malcolm the respect that he has earned. But I don't worship Malcolm X. And his ideas are outdated. One of the things, Malcolm, I just saw a video where Malcolm was talking about the United Nations. And he said, I don't want to do this by myself. But he understand even in 1965, he understood the mentality of the Negro. Who gonna get the credit? But Malcolm didn't want the credit. He let us come together and file this grievance to the United Nations. But he understood he probably had to do it by himself because he understood the mindset of the Negro. I understand the mindset of the Negro in 2026. The Pan-African Negro, the Moorish Negro, the Nubian Negro, the Christian Negro, whatever Negro, they all Negroes. That other stuff make you feel better. You still act like a slave on the plantation. You would rather die and stay on the plantation than work together and get off the plantation and become true, full functioning free people. Because really you don't know how. You act like a child. You have no idea. You don't know what you're doing. Freedom is nothing but a speech to you. That's all it is, nothing but a speech. So let us say that Malcolm was able to go and file a complaint and speak at the United Nations. Now, I could be wrong. I always say this. I could be wrong. I could be in error. Teach me. I always say that. Did the United States form the United Nations? To my knowledge, the United States formed the United Nations. So you tell me, symbolically, is that a word? Symbolically? Symbolism for Malcolm to go to the United Nations and give a speech that's not going to change nothing. Symbolically or symbolism, great. It feeds your emotion. Malcolm went to the United Nations and talked to all these countries. Here we are. You got the president of Israel who has been declared in the International Court a war criminal, and the United Nations and the International Court can't do nothing. So what make you think that Malcolm X giving a speech gonna change anything for the so-called Negro in America? Not gonna change nothing. Except Malcolm gave a speech. And the only result you're gonna get is everybody clap their hands. Oh, that was a wonderful thing. That's it. They're not gonna do nothing to America. America is a war crime. So why don't these countries do something? They friends with the criminal. So what make you think Malcolm giving a speech in 1964 or 1965, what make you think it's going to change anything for the Negro in America? Because of a speech in front of the United Nations, in front of a bunch of nations that's scared of America. Hell, they more scared of America than you are. They friends with the devil. Because they scared of the bully. All of them together could deal with the United States. All of them scared. That's what bullies want. Bullies want us as individuals to be afraid. But if all these nations in the United Nations, if all these nations come together and stop being scared, oh yeah, you're going to get hurt. The bully might reach out and hurt you a little bit. They can't touch all of you. They're going to fall. United States can't take on all the United Nations if they decide we're sick of it. It's fear. And chances are, down the road somewhere, you're going to get hurt anyway. That's what happened with me and my bully. It got to the point, no matter what I do, this guy gonna keep hurting me. So I decided to stand up. And whatever he wanted to do, let him do it. But see, bullies don't want to be hurt. And he backed down. I remember my bully on the day of my high school graduation. He patted me on the shoulder talking about, I don't want you to graduate and think that you tough. I'm like, man, we can throw that right here in the graduation line. Those days are over, punk. Well, that's a lot of nerve. I don't want you to think that you tough. You don't want none of this. We can throw down right here in this graduation line. You don't want freedom because you are afraid. Because freedom is like death. People fear for their life because they are afraid of death. Because death is unknown. I don't know. You make up all these stories, but apparently you don't believe them. Because religious people scared to die. Why don't you just go head on to heaven? Why don't you go head on to whatever? They scared to die. Because death is unknown. That's why you're afraid. What happens after death? What's going? You don't. So somebody put a gun on you. You're not gonna rush up and try to grab the gun or do nothing. You scared just to see the gun, cause that gun represents death. In this war with Iran, Donald Trump and all these suckers, they really don't understand the mindset of the people, because those people not scared to die. They know you're going to drop a bomb, and they come out their houses and go where the bomb going to drop. Do it. Because I know my God got me. I'm not afraid to die. The leader that they killed, I know they're after me. Kill me. I got a greater purpose. They're not afraid to die. When you dealing with somebody that's not scared to die, you got trouble. That's what made Dr. King dangerous. That's what made Malcolm X dangerous. That's what made Huey P. Newton dangerous. That's what made a lot of our people in the past, made them dangerous, because they wasn't scared. But you, in 2026, you scared. You're afraid. You're afraid to lose your internet. You're afraid to lose your job. You're afraid to lose your clothes. You're afraid. You fear. And that's how they control you. That's how bullies, that's how these people control others, through fear. And the reason why you will never be able to attain true freedom is because you are scared. You don't really, you talk about, I want freedom, freedom this, freedom that, but you're really scared because you don't really know what it is. You are used to the white man taking care of you for 400 years. And you really are afraid. How am I going to be free and do it on my own? Even these teachings, you got the white man's help. The Nation of Islam, do for yourself. But you're using the white man's resources. Get out here and do it for yourself. Using the white man's, the Peckerwood's resources. So you ain't doing for yourself. You're not finding something outside of the white man. You're still depending on them. The wood you use come from them. The electricity you got come from him. The internet come from him. The apple come from him. Well, some of y'all might have fruit trees in your yard. At least you can get an apple. Total freedom means without him. And you can't comprehend how I'm going to make it really without the white man. Without this Peckerwood. So really you scared. You talk a good game, but you are afraid. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to put on this show like you're not scared. But you are. You only fool yourself. You don't fool them. They know what it takes, what you got to do in order to really be free, because their ancestors done it. You got to go to war. You got to fight. You got to die. You got to gain your respect. You got to make them take you serious, or you get the hell out of here. And you're afraid. These people talk all this, go back to Africa, go! But they want everybody to go with them, because your ass is scared. That's why you want me to go back to Africa, which none of my parents came from no damn Africa. Most of these people will die right here in America. They're not going to no Africa. Everything they own, everything about them, their mothers, grandmothers, everybody is here, buried in this dirt. How you gonna go to Africa? What you gonna do? Dig up your grandparents, your ancestors, dig them up and put them on a plane and go to Africa? You're not going through all that. Talking nonsense. Very few go and live in Africa or some foreign country. And many of them come right back. The great Pan-African, Dr. Umar Johnson, he never talks about going to live in Africa. He's having too much fun pimping soul brothers and sisters in America, selling fantasy and fiction. Can't do that in Africa. All your money stops. Those people don't want to hear that garbage. It means nothing to them. Only to another American slave. We want to make this point and get out of here. Random topics. I sit back and I wonder, because I've been told all my life, and I see on the internet, these men in the church, in the mosque, the synagogue, and many places, you hear men say, we are protectors of women and children. That's what I've been told. God is the king, and man is next to God. Two men together, because God is a male too. And if you know, and the man, he's in between the God. She can't actually touch the God. You got this dude in between. So she really never have a connection to God. She got to go through the man in order to get to the God. Then you have the children, and then I guess when they get to become a man or a woman, I guess they go their separate ways, and she get in the back of the line, and the boy and the boy go front, you know, with his other hetero homosexual daddy, penis worshiper. The whole thing is nasty to me. When I was in the Nation of Islam, I got tired of being around all these hard legs all the time. Every chance I got, I went, what can I do to help the MGT? A lot of the brothers didn't want that assignment. I helped the MGT carry heavy things and help them get organized and help them. I wanted to be around womanhood. I want to be around these hard legs, but these guys, they so obsessed with the penis, they trying to get closer to men. I'm trying to get close to womanhood. So when they need a volunteer to help the sisters, they automatically know, brother, he would do it. Yep, bye. I'm gone. I'm going to be out. I'm tired of looking at hard legs. I'm tired of looking at a man's face. I'm tired of looking at a man's hands. I'm tired of looking at men. These people, you so conditioned, they have no problem with looking at men all the time. Hearing men. And then they want to shake the man. I don't want to shake your hand. I don't want to touch you, bro. There's a little thing in the Nation of Islam where they do this little hug thing, shake the brother's hand, and you come in and you touch cheek to cheek. I remember the first time I done that, I said, oh, no. We ain't doing that no more. I'll go through the motions. I ain't touching nobody's cheek. Because one cheek might make you think somebody might want the other cheek. Bro, I don't play that. They still doing that to this day. That cheek to cheek stuff. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. But men supposed to be protectors of women and children. That's what I'm told. So I'm thinking about this, and then this orange monster, this orange devil, purposely choose to murder little girls on the first day of his unprovoked war. So I'm waiting for the outrage. This was not a military site. There was no nuclear uranium there. There was no soldiers there. Little girls trying to go to school. And this monster dropped bombs on them. So I was told that men protect women and children. There was no outrage. I did not hear no outrage from the blackity black community either. There was no outrage. I thought, so the child personally have to be mine to feel any pain, outrage? Is that it? Well, that wasn't my daughter. You hear this all the time. I would do something to make my kids. I thought men supposed to protect women and children. That's what I was taught. So, again, more lies. I was taught lies. It's a lie. Because if men supposed to protect women and children, there's no way you can have all this silence. Now, of course, you got the devil. They happy about what they did. So I don't expect devil men to be outraged. That's what they do. They murder. They slaughter. Children, dogs, and cats, they don't give a damn. But here you are, the black man is God, and you next to God, but there's no outrage from men around the world. You know why? You know why? As much as they talk about Donald Trump, as much as they paint Donald Trump as the bad guy, the reality is the majority of men have the same mindset as Donald Trump. That's the reason why there's no... How many wars have these men had fighting for women and children? None. This war, this conflict in Iran has nothing to do with defending women and children. World War II didn't have nothing to do with women and children. Or the Civil War is all about material things. Men fighting each other over territory, over material things. They use the women and children as a tool. They use the women as breeders. Cook my food, make me a sandwich. She's a toy, my sexual pleasure. And they do the same with children, these pedophiles. There's no outrage that this president is a rapist and he's a pedophile and these men sit silent. They do nothing to protect women and children. And they use that coward garbage. Ain't my child. Those ain't my women. And then when they do attack your child and your women, your ass don't do nothing. You sit back in the cut. What did I do? Call the FBI. Call the CIA. You don't do nothing when it's your own. Trayvon Martin's people didn't do a damn thing. All our young people and women and children been murdered within the last 10 years. Ain't nobody, y'all protect folks so bad, you ain't did nothing. You done nothing. One brother lately, his son was murdered by a police officer. And then he turned around and run the police officer with his car, I believe. I forgot what his name was. We should be rallying. We should be with him. Nothing. I don't hear the black community talking about him no more. Nothing changed. We should be putting money on his books. We should be helping him, even if he go to jail, live a good life in prison until we can get him out. Well, with the Mississippi campaign, we would have been getting him out. But you don't have no men. These are boys. These are children. These are not men. That's why they cannot protect men and women. And these men love men. And they bend over for men. Donald Trump is an alpha male. And so these other beta males, they bend over and give that booty to this pedophile. They're not going to do nothing. Because they have the same mindset. Put them in charge, you will see the same stuff coming from them. They think the same way. Women are inferior to them. They worship the penis. They might not like what Donald Trump do, but they not no different. They are pedophiles in their own way. They are women abusers in their own way. They are the same. And then they use their made-up Bible to tell women where it says here in the Bible, your ass wrote the Bible. Your ass wrote the Quran. Ain't no God wrote nothing. You wrote that. Men wrote that. Women didn't have nothing to do with that. You wrote the marriage vows. You write the laws of marriage. Women don't have no contribution to none of this stuff. Just like black Americans don't have no contribution to the Constitution, the preamble, or none of these damn laws in this country. But yet we are under the rule of that. So how is that justice? When you don't have nothing, you did not contribute nothing to the making of that law. That's why our ass is over percentage of the ones locked up based on our population. Because we didn't write the law. We don't run the courts. That's why that young boy, what's his name, Carmelo Anthony, that's why he was easily railroaded. Because the men didn't stand up for their son. And now after he's convicted, we want to try to do something. And that's an uphill battle. It's easy to get convicted. It's hard as hell to get an appeal. And many of y'all have been in the justice system. You already know that. That young man was railroaded. This is not to justify the taking of nobody's life. We know that young boy railroaded. Then we got another son. He go off with some friends, his white friends, end up dead. The same way one of Minister Louis Farrakhan's ministers, he went off with his white friends. And he's taught every day, the white man's the devil, but I got my white friends. He come back dead. But the men don't do nothing. It's on the news for a few minutes, and y'all right back to arguing about religion, and you want some woman to suck your little pee-wee and all this other foolishness. The sports and the video game and all this stuff, because you're nothing but children. I got the research. I got the knowledge. You don't have a damn thing. That's why they got to show that they smart. Many of them, they put a lot of books behind them. Show you, I'm smart. I read all these books. And still dumb as hell. You think Donald Trump haven't read a lot of books? Dumb as hell. And now he was already stupid. Now he's suffering dementia and all this, and he's a fat, overweight whale. He's out of his mind. And these men, just let the crazy old geezer, whatever he say. Because the reality is, the majority of men, is always exception to the rule. The majority is men, and I want to talk to the women. I don't care how he smile at you and talk about how the Quran love women and no. You're nothing but a breeder. What is it that they always say? Don't pay attention to what come out their mouth, their actions. You're nothing but a breeder. How many of these pro-black women in love with these men, now she got 5, 6 children, and he gone. But you thought you had a good man because he was talking all that blackety-black, Nation of Islam, more Science Temple stuff. And here you are, thought you had a good man. They all the same, they hoes. The religious hoe, the pro-black hoe, the Pan-African hoe. Umar Johnson is a hoe. Louis Farrakhan is a hoe. The sperm worshiper, the penis worshiper get angry. This man cheated on his wife. He said it out his own mouth. He has 2 other women with children. He said it out his own mouth. The minister didn't say it. Yes, he did. I'm not going to tell you where he said it. But y'all so up in the man's boo-boo, you don't even listen to what the man said. He said it himself. Got two other women, other children outside his marriage. That woman, may she rest in peace, Sister Khadijah, she did not sign up for that. But she caught up. Either she go out on her own, she got too much time invested in this religious garbage. She has finally rested in peace. She didn't have the strength to leave him in his foolishness. And the children know what their daddy done. Said nothing. Just like Trump is these people daddy. He's the president. The president is the daddy of the United States. They don't say nothing. Just let crazy ass daddy with his pedophile rapist ass do whatever he want. Convicted criminal. That's why a convicted rapist and pedophile can become president, because many of these guys are doing the same thing. They just have not been caught. Some of the victims don't say nothing. You will be amazed at what you would hear if people would actually speak their experience. Talking about Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed, the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple. If people came out and really told you about their experience, you'd be like, wow. These men are not righteous. They're not holy and righteous. How you a God and a woman's vagina control you? You can't even control yourself. You can't even be around a woman. Little girls, you got to have that. But you are God. Explain that to me. You can come around me butt naked, and it has been done. Your booty don't control me. Never have. These guys supposed to be so strong. They God, but they're controlled by some woman's backside, her vagina, her breasts. But you God, you a warrior. But you can be controlled by something simple as that. And then you teaching something that you don't even have no discipline to do. You a whore. Talk about everybody get married and for what? So you can be a whore so they can go out and cheat on their wives. Rape their daughters and sons. You don't have no discipline. You don't have no control. Mr. God. Even Elijah Muhammad taught the MGT. He taught the MGT, don't leave your children alone. Even with the daddy, because Elijah Muhammad understood how weak and pathetic many of us have become. You rape your own daughter. You are the strong sex. All these things prove that the man is the weaker sex. You don't hear no women. When it comes to babysitting, most people want a girl, a woman to babysit their children. They don't trust men. Men don't trust men. You don't hear women on video talk about, we married. My husband won't give me no ding-a-ling. I'm so upset. I think I'm gonna. You don't hear women talk about that. They're not controlled. Well, back in the day, they're not controlled by ding-a-ling and all these different things. Women are in control of their nature and who they are. The men are the whores, not the women. The men exploit the women and call them what they are. They are the whores. They are the bitches. They bow down. They bend over to give another man the doo-doo hole. Men do that. There was a time not too long ago, we used to talk about the down low brothers. Because they like the ding-a-ling, but they want to pretend they don't like it, and they marry with children, and they run around with men. That's how men have been conditioned for a long time since civilization. What do you expect? All you do is keep throwing penis in men's face. They got to fall in love with it. God is a man. All the presidents are men. Men. The basketball, everything about the basketball, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, whatever. It's all about men. Talk about men. Men talk about men all the time. Men. Damn. All this man talk, give me some booty. That's what has happened. Then the sons get caught up in it. And they keep it going on and on. Who in their right mind views somebody's backside as something of pleasure? That's what doo-doo come out of. But these men, they so conditioned to love themselves. They pretend the doo-doo, the boo-boo hole is a vagina. As bad as it stink. So they can have sex with a man. Because they don't want a woman no more. On the internet, it's so bad. I seen posts where men talk about, I'll be glad when these robots get better. Pretty soon, we won't even need no women. We can have these robots. They already sleeping with dolls, these plastic dolls. These men sleep with dead women and men. It's called necrophilia. See, these are the men, women. Look, I'm talking to the women. These are the people that you follow. This is the head of household. The head of household sleep with dead bodies. They rape animals, sheep, dogs, cows, horses. I seen a video with this guy talking about he want to marry his horse. How sick they are. There was a song, The Freaks Come Out at Night. I think it was by Houdini. The freaks come out at night. The freaks, that's over. All of it is in the daytime. They don't wait till night. They've been doing it in America for generations. Sleeping with horses and cows and pigs. Sometimes the animal get pregnant. Sometimes some of these women mess with these animals. And then they put the freaks in these institutions and they allow some of the babies to grow. That's why you have the dog-faced boy, the seal boy, and all these freaks, because these people messing around with animals. It's called bestiality. And these men might not be like Donald Trump. It's all kinds of levels. That's why there's no outrage when little girls are unalived. Don't mean nothing. Ain't nothing but some little girl. Vagina. If it was little boys, it might be different. They love them some boys. Don't unalive some boys. Ain't nothing but some girls. There was a time, what was it, China or Japan? I think it was China. Remember, they was leaving little girls in the trash can. She's worthless. Boys valuable. Biology tells us the genes and the DNA is passed down through the mama, not the father. But they switched it around and stole her legacy, stole what is the woman, and now they put it in the hands of men. See, mama's baby, father's maybe. That's why inheritance and genealogy is rooted in the mama, because ain't no doubt about her. Father's maybe. But it definitely is, without a doubt, mama's baby. Unless she had it in the hospital and it got switched or something like that, whatever. But we know it's mama's baby. You and I are under this evil thing that we call the patriarchy. They talk about Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler ain't no different than any of these other men. You think Louis Farrakhan or Umar Johnson or Tariq, if you gave Tariq Nasheed, Tahaka Bey, Eric Muhammad, whoever, if you put them, gave them the power, Donald Trump, what you think gonna happen? You think, oh wow, we're gonna have a happy life. You really think things gonna be different? They already show you that they will murder. They already show you that they would kill. They already show you they don't like women like that. They ain't no different than Donald Trump. Many of them have exploited women, messed with their brothers' wives, and all this type of stuff these people done. Beat up women. They ain't no damn different than Donald Trump. and their Bible and their Quran justify all of it. A woman's place, like James Evans told Florida back when I was watching Good Time. James Evans told Florida, there's only two places for a woman. The kitchen and the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen and the bedroom. Because that's how men have been conditioned. No, they can be Muslim, they can be a Christian, they can be a Jew. If you are a woman, you are inferior. You just a breeding machine. You're just something for their pleasure, something to breed more men. That's all. Your brain don't mean nothing. Your humanity and what you want means nothing. I control your body. I tell you if you can have an abortion or not. I'm the one that caused you all your problems. All this abortion and all this calling women hoes and all that stuff caused by men because of the behavior of men. And then they throw it back on their victims. She wasn't doing that. It happened because of the exploitation of men. That's why she's like that. Graping. Instead of saying rape, they say grape on social media. Beating and raping these women, causing trauma. And then she begins just to give her body away because she been messed up in the head. Oh, she's a whore. Y'all done it to her. The men's treatment of her caused it. You are the root of the problem. No different than how these Peckerwoods do black Americans in this country. Oh, the black Americans, they criminals, black Americans. You did it. You caused it. You introduced black Americans to crack and heroin. And then you deny us employment so that we can feed ourselves, so we forced to steal. Deny us opportunity. You did it. Then they turn around and blame the victim for what they done, what they caused. And that's what men have done to women for generations since civilization began. Civilization was created by men to control. The beginning of slavery. They enslaved animals, they enslaved plants, and the first human slave was women. And then the men fight, who gonna be on top? That sickness continues to this day. And we think it's normal. We think it's normal. There was a time when slavery was called natural. And the Bible supported. It's natural. It's natural for the white man to have a black man as a slave. It's natural. And the slaves believed it. This is just the way it is. It's just the natural order of things. The victim believed it too. Women believe this stuff that the men say. All of us came from a woman's womb. But then they tell us she came from a man's rib. All of us came from the woman's womb, but she came from a man's rib. Don't want want to give her the credit for childbirth. Still want to give the man the credit for birth. That's me. It's all about me. But then you call these men gay. Oh, don't call me gay. That's what you promoting. You don't even want to give the woman credit for giving birth. And now these men are in these laboratories trying to develop an artificial womb. We don't need women at all. Once we get this artificial womb, we don't need women, period. Sick, sick, sick. And if you think all these pro-black, blackity black, pan-African concepts, you think these men are different, they are the same. I know. I've been dealing with them since 2007. Really longer, I just didn't understand. I was a child. I couldn't see it. Because it's the natural order of things. Sick. I'm not going to be part of your sickness. I don't want to be part of you being a damn loser. Because that's all you are. Bunch of losers. Failures. All these people that you talk about. Malcolm would be ashamed of you. Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, Elijah Muhammad, nobody, all of them, they will be ashamed of you. Because you are in a better position than they were. And you can't do no better. None of these folks have duplicated what was duplicated in 1930, 1950, 1960. They can't even duplicate it. The only thing they can do is give you slogans, feed you fantasy stories. That's all they can do. And then when they finish, will you donate to my Cash App? Will you help me do the nothing that I know I'm going to do? And because you fear real work, you fear real freedom, I donate to you. What is that other thing in the chat room? You can donate to that. I mean, you give them your money so that you can feel like you done something. In reality, you ain't done nothing. You just want to feel. And Donald Trump and all these other races and all these other people can see that's all you are. You're not real. Nothing but a slave on a plantation. And your slave master don't even have to be that's the killer. Your slave master don't even have to be alive. Your slave master can be invisible. And you pretend. What did you say, Masa? What did you say, Allah? Allah never answered back. What did you say, Allah? What did you say? Jesus? Jesus never answered back. But you follow and you believe. I remember, I'm going to say this to get out of here. I remember myself and my little sister, we used to pray together. And then I used to ask her, how do you feel? She was like, Because here we are, and we praying and whatever. And this invisible being, this God or whatever it is, never don't give you no kind of sign or nothing. You're just talking to the air. It don't make any sense. But my sister has a critical thinking mind, and I have a critical thinking mind. And as we grew, we had to let all that stuff go. Oh yeah, you an atheist. I'm not an atheist. I'm gonna say this and get out of here. I'm not an atheist. I don't acknowledge God until you show clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence that this God exists. And even then, I'm not going to be a slave. I would rather be dead. I'm not going to be a slave. But you can't prove the God exists. So I'm not a disbeliever. You can't call me a disbeliever. You have not proven that your God exists. And if God exists, I don't have to believe. Now I know that God exists. And even if God do exist, I'm not going to bow down to him. You ain't did a damn thing for me. So you can take your God, happy, Allah, Jesus, whatever you want to call yourself, Buddha, whatever you want to call yourself, you can take your happy ass and move on out. I'm not interested. Well, God will strike you down. Well, God he ain't doing nothing with Donald Trump. Trump overweight. He probably got all kind of cholesterol in his veins. Blah, blah, blah. He ain't doing nothing. God is letting Donald Trump kill hundreds and hundreds of people. Where is Allah? Where is Jesus? Where is all these gods at? Where is the black man is God? Trump don't give a damn. He ain't worried about none of these gods. Who knows how many people this Satan has murdered today? But like I said, most men, the majority of men, always exceptions to the rule, the majority of men are no different than Trump. That's why it's no outrage. When women get hurt, when women are hurting, you don't hear these guys say too much of nothing. Because they are the same. They're no different than Donald Trump. It's just that some of them have not been caught. Leave them with their daughter for a certain period of time. Even their son. They freaks. Unnatural. Don't tell me the black man is God. Y'all a bunch of freaks. Oh, you might be God, but it's not a good God. It's a demonic God. It's a savage God. Evil, wicked. Freak God. Yeah, you a God, all right. Not the type of God that you trying to pretend you are. On that note, we're going to get out of here. I thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. I know the children will have a temper tantrum. I could care less. That's what children do. I could care less. Hopefully, I've been able to reach out and talk to some adults and some of these men who aren't freaks. Even if it's just one of you, I'm happy to I'm happy to do that. On that note, I just wanted to get this off my chest, and I guess we'll talk when we talk. On that note, I'd like to end this by saying what our ancestor Don Cornelius used to say, as in parting, we wish you love, peace and soul. And we are 45,000. Where's this thing at here? Oh. You're welcome. See you later, Les Stoner. See you later, Tracy. Thank you for listening.